Okay. All right, guys, give me a second here. Trying to get all this down. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, got that. Got that. That's okay. Put that away, and then here I got this. All right. All right. All right. What's up, guys? Sorry. Trying to figure this out on my laptop because my computer's still at the shop, and it's probably gonna be there for another like week. So, trying to get this done on the laptop. Trying to figure out everything going on. I'm not gonna be able to do it on multiples, just on YouTube. So, just figuring it all out. This is the first time I'm doing it on the Mac laptop, and then all my screens keep flickering in and out. So just bear with me here, but we'll get going and try to figure all this out here. All right, all right. So give it a minute for people to join on, and then we'll start it up. Okay. Let me. Oh, you guys didn't even hear me. That was unmuted. All right. So welcome to the live session. I'm just trying to figure everything out. You know, switching from my computer to my Mac because it's still in the shop. So it's going to still be in the shop for another week. So I'm trying to figure this out with my laptop, and so bear with me. It's probably not going to be as fast, or I'm not going to be as fast as I was with just my computer, and I'll be looking all over the place. So bear with me. Um, I'm getting everything situated, getting all my windows good, and figuring everything out right now. Um, but let's see how this goes. Hopefully, it goes good. Hopefully, we get a good session today. um, yeah, just I'll just give it a minute for everybody to join in, and then we'll start. We'll start in one minute here. Okay. All right, guys. Let's get started. All right, let's get started here. All right, let's take a look at ES. So initially here, we have a breakout point right here on ES. Okay, at 6,500. So 6,500 ES, we were in this consolidation zone here. Okay, we broke out, right? Came back in, touched that support here, broke out again, consolidated with the little bull flag, broke out here at that 6,500, and then failed. Okay, we failed that breakout. So kind of double top area kind of thing with the divergence here. Okay, failed the breakout. Came back yesterday. 2 days ago. Sold off really hard, and then came back and came back up to that 644 for support area. So you see this middle consolidation. Okay, this is that area of chop. Okay, and this is the area on top where we held that support, and then we held that 20 SMA, and then we held that 20 SMA today as well. Okay, so we're barely holding on here at that 644.4, but it's holding. All right, we almost hit that 50 SMA there. Okay, we're in big trouble if we lose 63.60. Okay, and we lose that, then we'll be coming down to 62.80. Okay, and again, remember the bigger picture here. The bigger picture here is that we have the bullish channel, but we're up and we had that rising wedge, right? And we fell out of that rising wedge. We popped up, failed, and then popped back down. All right, so what is this? Okay, what is this? Well, basically, there could be a couple things with this, right? So this could be, the beginning of a little head and shoulders pattern here, because we have this left shoulder here, we have the head here, and then we have the right shoulder forming here. All right. So if that happens, that breaks down. But of course, we already seen this on QQQ, and then QQQ and the Nasdaq is they're just kind of not going to the pattern currentently. Okay. So where are we at right now? So let's remove this because this is already gone. This thing is on, right? Yeah, it's recording. All right, great. Okay, great. All right, cool. All right, so where are we at now? Well, we're in this middle consolidation zone, basically. This kind of this area of consolidation right smack in the middle. So we had this consolidation zone, and now we have this consolidation zone where we were kind of just going sideways for like 5 days straight. Then we lost it. Then we popped it. Go sideways for 4 days straight. Popped it. Then we lost it. Then we come back in here, and now we're going sideways again. All right. So we're in the upper end of the sideways zone. So if this is the lower end, we're in the upper end right here. Okay. So the upper end there, we're in the upper end here. All right. So we're still in the consolidation zone. So, this was a nice buy, right? Well, it was a nice dip first, right? We caught pretty much a lot of that dip. And we were anticipating it was going to drop. It dropped. It got bought up. Okay. Now we're here still. So basically, the market is still near all-time highs, and it's pretty much telling us, well, it's not sure what it wants to do yet. Does it want to get bought up and ran out? Because we already did that here, right? We dropped down here, we got bought up, and we couldn't run up. We couldn't do it, right? Didn't have enough juice, all right? Didn't have enough juice to run out. All right, so now it dropped out again, hit, hit around the same spot, hit around the same spots, and then run up here. But does it have enough juice to run out? I don't know. Because we already been to these levels, and it didn't have enough juice. We came back to those levels, it popped up again, but does it have enough juice to push? See, that's the question. That's the age-old question, right? I don't think so. I could be wrong. And if it does it, it's waiting for something. Okay. It's waiting for new buyers to step in, because the old buyers are not enough. So we have these buyers here that are holding, right? They're holding this level pretty well. We pushed through, we couldn't get it through. Okay, we came to the same area. We got the same buyers buying up. Okay, but can we push through? I'm not sure. So until that happens, we have to be hedged, because if we come to this area and we come up and we don't get enough juice to go through, we're here at the same area that we were previously, and we didn't have enough juice previously. Why would you think we have enough juice now? I wouldn't. So it looks all great and everything that we're gonna go push through higher, and maybe we will. Maybe there's enough buyers, maybe there's some headline that comes out and we push through and go higher. Could be new buyers come in because of new news. Okay, all the time. New buyers come in for new news, and that can happen. But so far, with everything being equal right now, currently, I don't see how these old buyers can push us through when they couldn't push us through here. Okay, and we spent 3 days at this level. Spent 3 days here gathering those buyers. Then we had a nice big pop. Okay, and then we had a big drop. Then we popped up again here, and we're holding above here. But do we have enough juice? I just don't know. I don't see it happening. But maybe there's some new. There's going to be some new news that's triggers some new buyers that comes in. But everything being equal right now, we've been to these levels and we couldn't get out, and so we came back to these levels. Why should we be able to get out? I don't see why. Okay. All right. So let's go into 4 hour here. All right. So, here's that consolidation. Okay. Here's this consolidation. And you can see the split between the two areas of consolidation. We have the upper end and we have the lower end. Now we're currently in the upper end. Okay. So we're currently in the upper end. Currently in the upper end, right? Currently in the upper end, and that looks great. We could continue on this little trajectory right up. Maybe we do try to make a run back up here. Okay, well, where's this resistance at? We got resistance straight up at 64.87. 64.87. Got some good resistance right there. Okay, and we got resistance right here where we're at. Right there. All right. So we got good resistance right here. 64.67 and 64.87. It's 20 points each. Okay, and then 6,500. All right, so here we're in this little channel. Probably see better on the hourly. Okay, we're in this little channel here. Okay, attempted breakout at the last minute of the day. Not really pushing through yet. All right, go down a little bit here. and we can see, okay, try to break out, hit the top of the channel, pulled back, probably consolidate most likely for the rest of the overnight session. Okay, this needs to move sideways. It's most likely, if it breaks out of the channel, then yeah, it's gonna go. But if we don't and pulls back, probably gonna consolidate between 64.60 and 64.70, and then just go sideways. Maybe even come back a little bit more to 64.50. Okay. So that's the gist of things in the oh, where are we going? Oh, what are we doing? Oh, what are we going back to bullish? Are we going bearish still? Well, market doesn't know because it's waiting on something. Okay, I told you there's a lot going on in the markets. There's court things. There's meetings. There's overnight. I mean, overseas shit. There's talks about rate cuts. There's dependence on job news. There's so many things, right? So this could easily, stay up here till the job news comes out, and then the job news could either tank it or rip it. Maybe that's what they're waiting for. Maybe they're waiting on the job news. Maybe they don't want to drop it yet until the job news comes out, or maybe they just want to rip it when the job news comes out. We'll see. Either way, you want to be hedged, okay? Especially up here when we're seeing all these divergences, we're seeing all these weaknesses, we're seeing where the markets are stumbling, okay? And you want to be careful in those areas. All right. Let's see, SPY. Go into SPY here. All right, so SPY. All right, so SPY we talked about a few weeks ago, and we said that we're going to see a big move up from this here. We didn't see it. We had a doji. It still wasn't sure. And then boom, the next day we had that big move up. Okay. So we had that. And then we had the potential breakout. And that breakout failed. All right. And now we're back here where I said that we were going to have that big move up. And then we have this move up here. So again, let me reiterate what I was saying about ES, because it's the same thing happening with SPY. Let me remove some of these just to get out of our way. All right, so we had the market top out at 646. Okay, drop back down to 634, consolidated there for 2 days, and then popped it, try to break out at 646, got to 649. Next day, gap back down and sold off below 646 and closed at 645. Okay. And then we gap down all the way back down to that 634 area. And then we reversed and then got back over the 20 SMA. Now what I'm trying to express to you guys is, if we already dropped down from 646 to 633, 634, 633 area, and then we made a move, try to break out of 646, and we got to 649, and then we gapped down and sold off hard back to 634, and then popped back up from 634 where we initially were. How am I supposed to think that there was enough buyers here to eat up all of these sales over here and then try it again and break out again? It just doesn't make sense to me as a trader that's been in the game for a long time. It typically, if there's not enough buyers at this level, they can't break out here unless all these buyers weren't satisfied and they want it to break out and they want to put down a lot more money. Then this shouldn't break out again here. We should get down to at least 627 where all these buyers are from, or 623, 622, where all these buyers are from over here, all these buyers down here, and then let them get in the game, and then we push up and push out. Okay. If there's enough buyers here at this level of 634, well, there was plenty of time to load up, to break out. And if we're revisiting that and then coming back up, I'm just going to be uncertain or not trustworthy until this breaks out. Okay. And we break that 650. And, we can see the divergence here. We try to break it on that breakout and it failed, broke down. So here we're on that little double bottom area there on that divergence. So if we do break it out now and we break that 650, then that's going to be the conditional trigger to tell us, okay, now we're going to 653 and 660. Okay, but until that happens, that just tells us, okay, well, now all these guys up here that have the big sell orders that dropped it to gap down, sell off, and then gap down and sell off hard, that was only one chunk of the sale that they had up here. So basically, this zone right here, that zone right there is a hard sell zone, right? It's a oh shoot, why did I do that? Damn it. Oh well. It is a hard. Okay, that's what I was looking for. All right. It is a hard sell area, so it's gonna be red, right? So this is gonna be hard sell area. So as we go back up, we go back up. If we go back up, we get past 645, we're gonna go back up to 646, 647. Okay, we go back up here and we get smacked down again, then now it's going to be a battle between who has more, the sellers or the buyers down here. And, I'm going to say if it comes to a battle of who has more, I think the sellers are going to win. And this will come back up and get smacked down again. And if it pops back up hard again, it'll be smacked down again. And that's when we revisit 623, 627. And then that's going to be dictative of 634 even becomes a sell zone, because then the sellers might come down and be like, all right, now we're going to sell here. All right. So just some education for you guys. This is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm seeing. This is why I'm anticipating what I'm anticipating. This is why I'm still hedged up. This is why I still am holding puts as a hedge, because, don't get me wrong, I still got calls. Calls did good. But in this area, this could be easily, this could be a distribution zone. And if it is, then every time we hit this area, we're going to sell. It's going to sell. Okay. And then if we come back down here and it's a buy and appears to sell, that just means, they're tricking you from, getting long and then anticipating you're going to break out again, and then having you buy. And then when you guys get up to the breakout, you're buying. Well, they're just unloading. So be cautious, be thoughtful of what's going on. And, that's what it is right now. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm looking at least in my experience. So this area between 636 or 646.50 and 650 is an area of sell. It's a sell zone. So be cautious in that zone. If it gets up here and we sell off, then anticipate, okay, well, we either going to bounce back at 640, or we're going to bounce back at 634. And if we don't bounce back and we just sell off, we're going to 623, 620. Okay. 620 to 627. This zone right here. Because that's another buy area. All right. So if we break out at 650 and we're just going, all right, cool, 653 and 662 on the way. But for now, this is just it's a pogo stick jumping around. Okay. All right. Let's go to NASDAQ. All right, NASDAQ. Check out the NASI. All right. The NASDAQ here still has a bearish divergence there, right? It's trying to break out of it. Okay. So if you look at the daily, we had that head and shoulders pattern right here, and that it fired off 2 days ago, right? And then it bought up. Here, let me remember that. So that was a head and shoulders pattern. So now what kind of pattern is it? So I'm anticipating, right? Anticipating some kind of triangle pattern. Okay. Some kind of triangle pattern. Okay. So it's not the head and shoulders pattern is basically I don't want to say it's X'd out, but I want to say it's weakened out. It's weak now. Okay, it's weak. All right. So we were long puts because what? We had the head and shoulders pattern, we had the divergence, okay? We had the squeeze. We had the squeeze facing down, which is still facing down. All right. Okay, so now that the head and shoulders pattern fired back to the head, from the neckline, fired to the neckline, and it didn't fire down, and it popped back up, held the 50, and it's in between the 50 and the 20 now. It's weakened the idea that this is a head and shoulders pattern that's going to fire down. And the divergence is breaking out of the divergence. Okay. It did it once, and now it's trying to hold that 50. Okay, which is a good sign. It's trying to hold that 50, and it's breaking out. All right. So let me see if I have to adjust this anyway. All right. So it's trying to break out. So touching that. It's trying to break out. So in saying that, the head and shoulders pattern is weak. Is it gone? No, it's not gone. Could easily form this little bear flag and then fire it down anyways and just trick you either way. But here's the thing. With the NASDAQ, we have what? I want to say, let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. So we still have sometime next week. Now, this pattern, don't get me wrong, this pattern is ready to fire. Okay. It only needs to be 2/3 away to be fired, and it's already 2/3 away. So it could fire any day, but it could also go all the way to the end. Okay, and that's just until next Wednesday. Okay, that's just a week away. And this pattern has to fire within the next week. So a week from today, this pattern has to fire. Okay, now what is it? Where is it going to go? I don't know. Okay, the divergence is kind of breaking. Squeeze is still facing down. The head and shoulders pattern did fail. So a lot of things there. And then this is, very chalky in this area where this zone is right here. Very choppy there. Very choppy there in this zone. And we're between the 50 and the 20 SMA, and that's going to tell you, we're going to be a little choppy. So can we revisit that 20 SMA at 23,600? Yeah, we can. Okay, but does that mean it's going to break out to the upside? No, it doesn't mean that. Okay, we can easily the next day just fire back down, back to 23,400. All right. So the head and shoulders pattern was nice. It fired to the neckline, but it didn't follow through. Okay. And this sometimes happens with patterns. They either fire and then they get canceled, or they fire and they hesitate, come back, and then they fire. Okay. Or they fire down and then they reverse and then fire back up. They're fickle patterns, of course, depending on news, depending on algo trading, depending on a lot of things. But for now, we're still in the gray area. We're not here saying, oh, it fired the head and shoulders and it got bought up. Now we're straight bullish, straight all like 100% go long. No, you'd be a fool to think that, because it's waiting on news. The news just didn't come in time for the fire down. Okay. There's new events, there's new information, there's new news that's coming out. There's new information that it is anticipating. So now we have to wait and see, okay, what is this news and why does it have to digest? And then from there, we decide, okay, are we going to go along with it? It breaks 23,800, easy, sure. Breaks 23,800, 100% go long. Okay, it breaks 23,200, go short. Breaks 23,000, easy, go short. All right. Take a look at QQQ. So QQQ got a little bit more room. QQQ gets a little bit room on it. So, we had that head and shoulders pattern. We fired down on that gap down. Okay, caught that 560 and then bounced up. Okay, that neckline, right? Bounced up. Okay, and stopped right here at the 20 SMA. So as we can see here, we have the downtrend and we have the uptrend here. So we have Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then so we have a week and a half for the net for the Qs. We have a week and a half for the Qs before it's towards the end of the pattern. And for the NASDAQ, we have a week. So it looks like this isn't going to fire until either Friday or next week, Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. So within the week, I still think it's going to make its move within the week, but you can see that it has room. It has room here. Okay, so take some off so you can see it better. All right, so it has room. It doesn't have that much room to the upside. It's about 574, maybe 575. Okay, to the downside about 565, 566. Okay, so we have an indecision candle today. So this is an interesting candle. And the RSI is coming back from being below 50. Let's see this divergence here. I think it's still on, but divergence is still there. Okay, remember NASDAQ was trying to break out. This divergence is still there. Okay. Okay. So we have an indecision candle on a gap up. So that's a weird candle to have because we had the head and shoulders. Okay, we tried to break out here, failed, gap down, sold off, then gap down, sold off more. All right, sold off more, then hit the 50 SMA, popped up. Now, could this just be a reaction from hitting the 50 SMA, popping up, and then we have a gap up? Okay, and then if we gap back down here, that's just going to cancel all that out and sell back off. Okay, I don't know if we are or not, but if we gap up and we push through, that's going to say, all right, there's a lot of buyers that came in here, and now we're gapping up, pushing through, indecision candle, and then we get another gap up and then push through. Well, that just means, the buyers are coming out and they're taking over. So if we do push through 576 tomorrow, that's going to be a tall telling sign that, okay, lots of buyers are coming in. But most likely it's gonna maybe come to 574 and then kind of chop around here in this zone right here. I would say I would put my money on that. We come back inside the zone because we stopped right before the zone. Okay, we gap up in the zone and then we come to 572.44 and we go to 574 maybe, and then we chop inside there for a couple days. Okay, that's what I'm anticipating there. Anticipating there on the Qs. Okay. Let's check out. Longer term looks fine. Let's go shorter term. All right, shorter term. Yes, looking like 574 to 575. Yeah. So that would be my targets there. 574 to 575. With the break of today's high, it's 571.71. Breaks 571.71, we go 573, 575. Okay. Somehow we end up gapping down for whatever reason, and we come back down to 563. That's going to be a complete bearish engulfing, and then the head and shoulders will still be in play, and it will go down to hit our targets that we had listed. Okay. All right, let's go check out. All right, so we did SPY, QQQ, go IWM. Okay. All right, IWM. So IWM broke out here, and then we tried to break out here, failed to break out here. Then we came back inside. Okay, and then here we pushed it, tried to break out again, failed to break out, and came into the outside. So this here is consolidation zone. This here's a failed breakout though. So we have a failed breakout on SPY. All right. We have a failed breakdown on the Qs. Okay, we have a failed breakout on NASDAQ. I mean on IWM. Okay. And then I don't think DIA tried to break out, but this failed breakout is I was anticipating we go back to 230 because that's the area of support. That's where this one tried to break out, failed. Okay, so this zone right here, it should have been coming back here, but if it's coming right here, gonna hold this area, then we're gonna see, is this a consolidation zone right here that they're gonna chop around to? But again, me reiterating the fact that we had consolidation, big breakout, consolidation, breakout again, failed, and then come back here. Is this enough to hold and then break out again? I mean, it wasn't enough for this one. Is it going to be enough for this one again? I don't know, but in my experience, it never is. So, is there a possibility it can? Maybe. But that kind of weakness is never a good sign. The kind of weakness when you fail to break out and you have that bearish engulfing down, it's never a good sign that these sellers are. It tells us more likely that these sellers are here to play and sell than you are. Okay, because it basically hits a brick wall, falls back inside. See, like this one, big candle, failed, broke down, came all the way back down here, and then had that big candle come up here, and then you're just going to come here and then go. Most likely, you're going to come back here towards that 20th of May again before you go again. That's my take on there. Let's see here. See the hourly here. Okay, 4 hour. Okay, there's consolidation still until that 235. If it could get back over that 235 and drop down, and we can see this breakout here with the bearish divergence there. Our size above 50 again, but that 235.50 is going to be hard to get over, and especially because all of this consolidation, all this, the dip, everything. This is supposed to be a massive cup and handle breakout. And that breakout is this one here. So that breakout is kind of having troubles there. So, like I said, it feels like it's waiting for news or it's waiting for some kind of new information, new buyers. And that's across the market. So we want to be hedged up. We want to be hedged up. Okay. DIA. Okay, again, this one broke out. Try to break out here. Didn't get close enough to the breakout and just kind of dropped. Okay, held the support here, held it double. So DIA does look good. It held this previous area of resistance here. Put a double reversal candle inside day. DIA honestly looks good to go for tomorrow. Looks really good. Looks good. So double bottom, basically reversal inside day. Looks good. Bullish engulfing here. Looks good here. So you got your upper resistance here. You got your lower area support here. I think this one goes back up to 455 tomorrow. Okay. All right. So we did all those. Let's get some stocks in here. All right. NEM. November put. All right. So you're saying NEM November put. Now. NEM. All right. So It just made new all-time highs yesterday. So I don't know why you're fighting the trend. Why are you fighting the trend for? Do you know some information we don't know? You know some information that nobody knows because you're fighting the trend. Now, can it pull back some? Sure. It can pull back a little bit, but does it look like it's going to pull back a lot? Well, there's no divergence on it at all. It looks like it's doing pretty well. The trend is pretty good. Strong stock. 20 SMAs here, 50, 100. Looks like all it needs is a little pullback and a little consolidation right here between 73 and 76. I think that's your sweet spot of a pullback. I don't really think I don't really think it's calling the top here. So I think it had a cup and handle breakout. Okay, consolidated for a little bit, rallied here. So we got 1, 2, 3. So you're still only on your third wave. So you got 1 wave, 2 wave. This is your third wave. So you're probably going into your fourth wave. That's only it. It's only been one down day since this trend here started. So this and it looks like it just consolidated sideways before it starts going up again. So if this pulls back to 73 area, I'd be a buyer for 78, 79 area at least. And then that could be your potential wave 5 if this pulls back here. This might not even pull back here. That might just be one day and tomorrow goes. But I don't see anything really bearish about this stock. I actually see it as a very strong stock. And it looks like it's doing well, very well. And I think it still has potential to move to 78, 79 at least. So at least another $4. Another $4, maybe even 80, maybe 80. But yeah, I mean the DMI is not saying it's tired. Stochastic's not saying it's tired. In fact, everything is just saying this is strong. So I wouldn't be a put buyer here. Unless you know some insider information that I have no idea about. But I mean, this stock looks great. Looks like a stock you want to be in for a long call. Right? All right, NVIDIA. Okay, so we had said this here was a weak spot for NVIDIA. It looks like distribution. We had a long bearish divergence. RSI below 50. Squeeze on the downside fired today, which doesn't look good for NVIDIA because it held at 168. Now here, this one here looked like a little head and shoulders as well. Okay. Now again, what happened with the Qs, right? Had the head and shoulders and didn't fire. So now, what about this one here? Well, it didn't fire either, and it has 2 dojis now. It has a doji here and a doji here. And what does that mean? It just means that it doesn't know anymore. It doesn't know yet. The video doesn't know. It still doesn't know. Okay, it doesn't know yet. And here, we'll draw a line right here, because this is that level that it needs to really get back over 175. Because this is this area where it consolidated and it lost. Okay. And then so if we can't get back up here, we all know all these guys are sellers. They all sold. And then this one dropped. Okay, so if it comes back here, if this week, so like I said, like I've been telling you guys all day, all since we started the live, things are not out of the woods yet. Okay, if the video comes back to 175.40 and it rejects, builds a bear flag, then drops it again, then it's confirmed all these people were sellers and we're going down. Okay. Now, if the video comes back up here, regains 176, okay, and gets back up to 180 and holds up here, then it's just we're back in the situation that we don't know what's going on. Because we could break out at 185 or we could break down 175, but it's telling us at least there's not enough sellers to break it down just yet. All right. Now, if we look at it, we had a nice bullish channel. Okay. Then we got out of it, broke down. Okay. Lost the channel. Couldn't even try to get it back. All right. Been going sideways in this area where we lost the channel near all-time highs. Okay. Now, then we lose where the consolidation area that we were in when we lost the channel and hit the all-time highs. So now it's saying, okay, well, that was weak. There was enough demand up here at 185 for Nvidia. There's not enough demand there. All right. Are we back? Are we back? All right. We're back. All right. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I was seeing everything. I was seeing everything fine, but the YouTube froze. But I could see all you guys, and then the time and everything was still going. So I don't know what happened. So I just reconnected, and all right. So so what I was saying is 168 is that last teeter totter area. Are we gonna hold there, go back up here to 180, or do we lose that, then start trickling down to 158, 150, 145. Okay. So the best area to buy is 145. Lots of buyers here. All right. The next best area is 150. Okay. And the next best is 158. Okay. The 168 area is that teeter totter, right? Because we don't know. Are we going to drop it down? You know, this is where we get, okay, we'll get some lottos here and see, like, we already dropped it here to 168, made some money on the lottos, on the puts. Now here, are we going to pull it back to 175 and see if it's if it's resistance? Because if that 175.50 area is resistance, that confirms that all these guys sold, and then this is going to drop. So because if we come back here to 175.50 and we reject that area and this forms a bear flag, then this one drops it back down 160, 150, 145, and then you buy all your leaps in this zone, and then it starts going up again. But so far, NVIDIA is on the daily, at least, NVIDIA is straight down with the it has a straight down with the breakdown of the RSI with the squeeze firing down. It's not showing anything positive yet. Okay. Now, if we go to the 4 hour, we're not really seeing anything positive yet either. Okay. We go to the 1 hour, we do see some little bit of positivity here. RSI is above 50, holding up. We got a bull flag set up. That's a little bit positive, but that's what I'm saying. If we just push it to 175, reject there, and then come back down just to have on the daily a retest of maybe 50 or not even, let's see, where's that 40? Yeah, it could retest 50 and then it rejects 50. If it rejects 50, that's how we know. If we come back to 175 and RSI comes back up to 50 and then rejects, we know we're going down. We know that's confirmation that we're going down, and I'll see you at 150, 145. Okay. So that's what we're looking at with NVIDIA, right? That's what we're looking at. And the 4 hour here, we have that support right there at 168. But RSI is not showing us anything positive. We're at 37. This could easily go to 175. This one just goes back to 150. If we reject there, we're done. Just like this one. Came down, came back up, try to hold 50, lost it. We come back up here, try to hit that 50, we reject, we're going to lose it. Okay. So some things you want to look at, some things you want to keep in mind. So that's your teeter totter right there, 168.50. Below it, bearish. Above it, we got to test 175. And if we don't get back over it, we're going back down. All right. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Okay. Keep that in mind. All right. Tesla. All right. Tesla. All right. So I needed some caffeine. Got that caffeine gun. Like shoots caffeine straight into. I'm like, whoa. All right. So Tesla here. Let me show you. We had that descending triangle. broke out of it, came back, tested it, held it, tried to break out of this resistance area, failed it, came back holding that. Okay, let's all clear that out. Okay. Oh, let's go to the simple. Okay, let me double try this. So we got two things going on here. We got a ascending triangle forming on Tesla. What this is the slope, and this says the resistance here, 555. So 555 has been resistance for, I don't know, months. Okay. We are sloping up on our support, right? We didn't have a divergence here at all, but I don't like the, those U-shaped, those U-shaped. It's not quite a pyramid, but the U-shapes I don't like either. You guys know I don't like the pyramids, the straight up, straight down, but the U-shaped also I don't like. They're potentially inverse cup and handles, for me. So I don't like them. I don't like it if I'm trying to go long on something. Okay. But positive on Tesla, we have the sloping support. We have the flat resistance here. That's an ascending triangle. Okay. We have a gap down, doji. And then we have a gap up, doji. Okay. Essentially, this could be a morning star reversal. But we also have a doji. So tomorrow, we want to see hold the 20 SMA and go higher. If that happens, we continue our journey to 350, 355. If it doesn't happen, we go sideways. Because then this is going to confirm it doesn't know what it wants yet. And it doesn't know if it wants to reverse and take off yet, or if it wants to consolidate a little bit and then move up. It's going to move up either way. But it's just telling you now what time is it going to move up. Is it going to move up? If it's up tomorrow, then yes, it's going to move up this week, and we're going to hit 350, 355. If it doesn't, then no, it's not going to hit 355 this week. It's going to take its time. And that's when you slowly grind up. Okay. That's the only thing it's telling me right here. I do like the reversal right at the 20 SMA, right at the lower end of the support. But, we could do another doji tomorrow and then Friday go up. That's just how Tesla works sometimes. It's a pain in the ass. Pain in the ass stock. Been a pain in the ass stock for, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, forever? Yeah, basically. All right. So what are we looking at? 4 hour? 4 hour here. You see, we had like a big, nice candle, then a bearish candle, basically saying, okay, we don't know what we're doing. We're gonna go up and then go down equally. That's what the indecision candle is. Okay. Now also RSI right at the 50. So now it's saying, okay, I don't know if I need to go over the 50 or I'm going to get rejected by the 50 and come down. I don't think it's any reject 50 and come down. I don't think we're going to drop too much because we're at that lower end of support. I mean, we could come back to 350, but that's where that 200 SMA is. Um, I don't think it loses that 200 very much. Maybe like dips below it a little, but I don't think it loses it. I think it comes back up, and the worst case scenario, we go back to 340 tomorrow. Best case scenario, we go 345, 350. And then Friday, best case scenario, we go 355. Okay, and then a potential try to break out, but if it does, I don't know if it's gonna work. We might just keep doing this kind of movement, like a caterpillar rolling up. Okay, until we get some solid news out of Tesla, or some really good positive things out of Tesla. But I do think we go 345 this week. Whether or not we do it tomorrow, I think Friday we get 345 to 350. I think that happens. We could get some help tomorrow, but if not, it's just going to be a Friday thing. Here's the hourly. Okay. Let's see. Okay. See, not a big reason to get rejected so hard. Maybe some here. But, okay, once we're past that 342, we should be golden for 345, 350, 355. Okay. All right. Google. All right, Google. Massive breakout today. One we've been waiting on for, I don't know, months. I mean, we've been playing Google since the bottom here. I mean, we did pretty well. We've been doing pretty good on Google all year, actually. Sometimes Google, been pain in the ass. We've had a lot of consolidation here, like around here and around here, but all this, I think we pretty much got. This was consolidation. This and this we got. And then we surprisingly got this too. Now where's Google going? Well, 233 we have as this week's target, if not 240. All right. We have a big breakout on the monthly weekly. So we have a big giant breakout suggesting 240 and 280 as targets. Most likely 240 is going to hit this month for sure, possibly even this week if we have enough juice. But if not, by next week, we should hit 240. We got that nice big breakout of the channel as well. Now this channel breakout, I think we already hit. Let me try that. Yeah, the channel breakout we already hit. We hit that exact on the day today. Exact on the day. So we hit that channel breakout right there. 230 was that channel breakout, 230.50. So, but the next target is 233. And if we could get past through 233 and hold, we go 240. Now, if we could maintain that momentum, we'll probably consolidate a little bit after 240 or at 240. And maybe like chop around a little bit. Possibly, I don't know how exact strong this is because Google has been a lagger. It has been a lagger. This is the first all-time highs it's hit all year when every other tech has been hitting all-time highs. So it is definitely a lagger. So it's finally it got out of its little issue that it was having. Now it's like, let's go. The only other tech that hasn't hit any all-time highs is Apple. So Google and Apple were lagging. Okay. And I'm talking big tech, big tech. I'm not talking little tech. Big tech. So I think 230, 240 coming. Google's, I think, probably one of the better ones to be in because it's lagging. It has all everything straightened out with it. It has big AI, it has quantum computing, it has search engine, it has a lot of things, right? It has a lot of things that it was being held back from. Well, I mean, it's not only that it's been growing, but the stock price has been held back from its growth, and that's why there was such a big pop today. I wouldn't be surprised if the momentum gained and it continued to push Google higher, so it could catch up to where it should be. Okay, so that's a big one there. So Google can go more. I think it could go. I think it could go more. I think 260 this year is not unreasonable, and I don't even think 280 this year is unreasonable. But I think 260 it will happen for sure. So I mean, easy play, easy play, easy play. I mean, just go the December 260 calls, $5, 570. I think that happens within the year. 107 days out. I think that happens within the year. If you want a little bit more time, you get some January 260 calls. There's $7. A little bit more, $2 more, $1.50 more for an extra month. 135 days versus 107. Up to you, but I think 260 hits. If you want November, they're what? They're a lot cheaper. They're $1. Oh, yeah, $2 cheaper for November. So who knows? Maybe it might not hit until December. But I think 260 happens this year, whether it's by December or January. I think it happens. I think it happens before the end of the year. So it's gonna happen in December. I mean, end of December at least. But anything else, or if you want anything else, you could always spend more money. Get 240 calls November. They're expensive, but they're gonna hit. If you don't mind just packing some money away. What's this, October? 240 calls, $5. Those are gonna hit. 44 days. I think that's a good play right there. October 17, 240 calls, $5. Those are good. I like those. I like those a lot. Okay. And I think those are gonna go good. All right. That's enough Google. All right. Next on the chopping block, we got what coin? All right, so coin popped back up here, 444, and then dropped it. It had a big move from what 250, 385, came back to 444, then dropped it hard. $140. And that's consolidating on this previous area where there's a lot of support. A lot of support at 300. It's consolidating. It's not losing that 300. It's getting squeezed. It's building a squeeze. That's why you could tell it's getting squeezed. Squeezed by the 100 SMA and squeezed by the 20 SMA. So it's building a nice squeeze there. RSI is still below 50. but it's rising. It is rising up. It's 20 SMAs at 311. I think we could hit that today. I mean, not today, this week. But I don't think it goes below 300. And if it does, it's for a second, and it comes right back up, just like these little wicks did. So 300 is right here. So every time it's dropped below 300, it has closed right back above 300. So I don't think it closes. It closes below 300. I think it gets back up over 300 every time. So right now it's just in the chop area. So until it closes past that 20 SMA, it's gonna pop and drop. So what's my advice? Buy it near 300, sell at 310. Buy at 300, sell at 310. Every time. 310, 312. Always says it. Buy at 300, sell at 310, 312. It's been doing that all past 4 weeks, 3 weeks. So 2-3 weeks, something like that. So holding 320, 305, 40. We should be able to get back over to 310. Otherwise, just going sideways. Okay. Yo, what up? Okay. Okay, HL. Okay, HL. All right. HL was in this huge consolidation. Wow. This was a nice one. I don't know. Have I ever played this one? No, I don't think so. I just did this for you guys. That's a nice one. Because this consolidation, this is what I look for. Once it breaks out of this, these things rip. These are my favorite plays. These are big money plays. HL it's going at 921. It's not there yet, but you could tell that it's getting tired. It's getting tired there. So 921. Let me see here. Yeah, you see even the weekly's getting tired. Where are we at here? 72, not bad. Let's see here. Oh, previous highs. Okay. Okay. I think what's going to happen here is it's going to stop at either 930, 945, 940 area, and then it's going to create this little cup and then consolidate here before it breaks that 945. And that's only because I see this getting tired. It could go a little higher, but then it could just set up, a little bull flag and then set up to go. But we do have a nice huge squeeze firing. Our side looks great. I mean, otherwise, this looks great. It looks good. It looks great long. Looks great long. Daily is tiring, though. We got a hanging man here. We have an indecision candle here. When you have two of these together, not the best look. So you got to wait to see what the next candle is. But you are nearing resistance. So if you've been in it since here, $5, you're nearly doubled. I would think about trimming or at least hedging. But overall, stock looks good. Stock looks good. All right. GME, huh? You guys still messing around with that stock? I think that this is a stock that just this is like a Baba and a Tesla. It's just a stock that just kills your money. I know. Baba's been moving lately and all that. I've seen and I've heard, but I just don't. So it's consolidating. Okay, consolidating. You could tell this area. So we told you guys last time this area was resistance. So we met it come back out there. If you guys got in it anywhere here and you came back up here, you would have known that was a sell zone. And right there, it gave you all day to sell. And then boom, look at that. Sold off so hard and then dropped it so hard. If you slept in this day or this week or took this week off, you destroyed it. You just got destroyed. Nasty stock. Now it's consolidating. Now you what are you asking me? When's the next pop? Sorry, man, I can't help you with that. Nope. GME is like a penny stock. Decides when it wants to go. I could only tell you what I could see. I see a bullish divergence. It's over 50, but now it's testing 50. Okay, nice candle here. Now it's trying to hold the 20 SMA. You're gonna see what candle next. If this is a positive candle tomorrow, then you got a good chance that this could form a little bull flag and then go higher. But if this is a negative candle and it goes right back down, this is just a tease to try to get people in, and then it just slammed you out. Do you got a squeeze forming because of all the consolidation? I would think GME is like cyclical in some kind of way. So if you actually study it and you actually see the cyclical motions of it, you can get a better idea of it. I don't really look at it. I don't trade it. I'm not a big fan of it. So, essentially you kind of have a floor at 20, 19, 20 area so far in this year, at least. Yeah, it looks like around 17, 18 to 20 is a floor. Do I ever think it's going to get back up here to 64? Even 46? I don't think so. I think you're going to be topped out around 35, 40. I don't think this goes up. Maybe it does, maybe it does, but I think sooner or later, people are going to jump into other things. But so far, bullish divergence looks good. Squeeze looks good. Potentially if this was positive tomorrow, this would look good for potential pop higher. Other than that, it's a sideways guy. Once it breaks 25, I would jump in because then you have possibility of 27 and 30. Okay. But I think what this one does is it will consolidate, probably pop it at 25, then drop it, and then pop it to 27, and then consolidate, and then pop it to 30, chop, and then pop it to 31. So you got to be quick, really fast on these ones. Okay. Okay, would I buy calls on GLD? Well, I did buy calls on GLD today. I did. So let me see. GLD as opposed to GDX. Okay. Let me see here. All right, GLD. Okay. So here is why I already had calls last week for GLD, and then I bought more calls this week because those last week calls smacked, right? But the bigger picture is this monthly breaking out. So if we could see this monthly breakout bull flag here, fired this month, 3 days ago, right? Monday. So nice big candle so far on the monthly. So in my thinking is, okay, if this is a massive breakout on the monthly, this candle should look like this. 340 by the end of the month. Okay, 345, I mean. Sorry, 345 by the end of the month. So if that's going to happen, I have no problem buying more calls on GLD. So we see on the weekly broke out. Already hit the target on the weekly, 329. Already hit that target. And it's just the beginning of the week, right? Wednesday. We still got 2 more days. And maybe it chops around for the rest of the week, it doesn't do anything, but we still haven't even fired the squeeze off on the weekly. Did we have a squeeze on the monthly? Let's see. No. All right. So weekly squeeze has not fired, and it just went positive green. Okay, our side looks good. Okay, signals more room to go. On the daily, we put in a doji candle, so might pull back. Might pull back. If it pulls back, I'd be looking. If it's very, very strong, it's only going to go to 325. If not, it could go to 320 or 318, but I would be a buyer there anyways. But I don't think it goes. I don't think it goes that low. If it does, it's just to fill the gap, and then it's going to get bottom really fast. Like it's going to be one of those where it comes back down and then rips back up. Okay, but if there's any pullback or consolidation, it's only going to go to 325, and I would be a buyer at 325, and then if it doesn't hold that and it comes back down to 318, I'll definitely be a buyer there because it's going to bounce back quick. And if it does that, then this is going to set up to go to 340s. So, do I like it? Yes. Big breakout. Okay, let's see here. What's the 4 hours saying? 4 hours saying it's tired. Okay, and there's a divergence on there. Okay, so it's going to pull back. All right. So I bought today. It says it's going to pull back now. Hit a target. Okay, that's fine. Just put in buy some more on the dip. Add to it because it's a solid breakout. It's a solid breakout, and it's been up for what, 3-4 days. So a little pullback doesn't hurt. Pulls back. I bought it earlier before it hit that 329, and then now decided, hey, it wants to pull back now, which is fine. It hit the target. So I think 325. We'll watch it, see if it holds there, and if not, we'll watch it around 322. If it holds there, and if not, it's going to go 318, fill the gap, and then it's going to definitely hold there. But all around, yes, metals are doing amazing. So depending on how long you want to hold them, I think they're like I said, GLD looks like it's going to go to 340, 345 this month. So if you could get it at 320, 318, that's a good spot to go to 345 to. Okay. Just buy next month's out. Go let's see. September, October. So October, we go what 340. Okay, they'll be cheaper if we pull back, right? So we got 340, 345 calls October. Um, they're not too bad. $3-4, 330s are more expensive, right? 335 more expensive, but they're gonna make more money. Okay, September. 330 calls, lots of volume today, lots of buyers. So 330 calls. I think we pull back here. We pull back anywhere in the 320s, 318 to 325, anywhere in between. It's a buy all day 330 because we're breaking 330 this month. We're breaking 330 this month no matter what. So if you want to buy the end of the month or the middle of the month, whatever. But I think 330 is going to break. So you want this is too strong. Look at all this buy volume. And that's a good indication of a breakout. And then we're going to a weekly, monthly breakout. So any pullback, any kind of weakness, we want to see it get bought up and we want to buy it up as well. And if we could do that and it holds, we just validate to ourselves, man, this is going to break 330. And we're going to go 335, 340. End of the month could possibly hit 345. That's crazy. And you're going to make, with GLD, these contracts exploded, So if they double up, you're spending $500 a contract, $400 a contract, even $700 a contract, and they double up or even double and a half. You're making good money right there on each contract. So depending on how many contracts you buy, it's a good place. You wanna be in a situation like this, right? We consolidated for what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, 5-week consolidation, and then we're barely breaking out. You think we're gonna stop? No, we're gonna go to 345 this month. Okay, so if we pull back 320, 318, 325, whatever it is, buy it up, 330 calls. For you could either do September 19th, or if you want to do the whole month just to have more, September 30th, 330 calls. They're what? $5.95, but they're going to be cheaper if we're at 325 or below. They might be $4, $3, and it's going to pass that by the end of the month. You're going to double up. You're going to double up, maybe even double and a half. That's an easy play right there. The stock is the stock is so strong. It's so strong. It's in a perfect mix of breakout, volume, price. Like, I think this is an easy trade. It's an easy trade. Okay, unless some kind of horrible news comes out that there's no inflation, because metals rise on a case of inflation, and guess what they're doing? They're ripping. Why? Because the Fed rate cut is coming, right? Money's been printed like crazy, right? Like there's nobody's saying inflation is coming down. They're even saying with tariffs, inflation might go higher. So all this anticipation, the Fed's any cut rates, okay, that's more inflation. Putting out more money, right? More quantitative easing, more everything. Metals are just going to skyrocket. Okay. So why not join the club? If they're making your dollar weak and they're making gold strong, then why don't you just join in on making some money on that, so your dollar is not as weak. All right. All right. So that is GLD. Okay, coin already did. All right, we're going on a long one today, huh? All right. PNAW. All right, PNAW, it's been stuck on that 190 area. But once it breaks that 190 area, it's gonna go. Or did it get fill already? 193, 192, 192. It hasn't got filled yet. So the gap fill is 193. Oh wait, no, it did get fill. 193.10. And this one was 193. Wait, 192. Oh no, it hasn't. Okay. It's been short. It's been short a couple cents. Been short like 30 cents. Okay. Well, that gap fill, once it breaks that, it could go to 200, but it's just consolidating here. You need to get that through. That might be it. It might be that little thing. It might break out today or tomorrow. So watch it. Today or tomorrow, it could break out. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Yep. Squeeze Foreman. Okay. RSI steady. Okay. Yeah. RSI just keeping on that 50. Yeah, I would watch this for breakout this week. I think it may be there. Okay. Could be a nice lotto right there on PNAW. All right. Okay. CRM. Look, if you guys ask me about earnings and everything, and it already happened, like I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're asking me about earnings, but earnings happened. It dropped. You don't know what it's going to do tomorrow. You don't know if it's going to come back by the morning. You don't know if it's going to drop more by the morning. So you asking me these questions, it's just like, I don't know what to tell you. Give me something when it's done. When this is doing what it's doing on earnings, nobody's going to tell you anything. What could it drop to? It could drop to 238, 240. Okay. Or it could keep going and go to 230. Okay. Where could it come back up to? It could come all the way back up to where it dropped. Okay. So it could come all the way back up to 250. Okay. Where support 243 90 and 249.80. It's like earnings. It's like you can't do anything about it until it's all done with, and it's the next day, and then you know exactly where it is. Otherwise, it's a shot in the dark. You don't know what it's going to do overnight. So whenever something's happening overnight, you don't know how it's going to open. Sometimes people freak out because there's a massive drop overnight, and then they wake up the next morning and it's right back where it started. So there's no point. And sometimes something shoots up 1,000,000% overnight, and you're all excited. You're already spending that money in your head, and then the next day you wake up and your options are negative because it opened up at the same price. It's just like overnight you can't. It's a shot in the dark. It's just not even worth talking about, because you never know what's going to happen. So, and whether that's for earnings, whether that's for news or after hours, it's always anything that happens after hours only matters to futures. That's it. Doesn't matter to stocks, options. Anything happens overnight or after the market, before the market, Doesn't matter until the market opens. Once the market opens, then we can start talking. But before the market opens, shot in the dark. You don't know what's going to do. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's not even worth talking about. All right. Okay. Froze, huh? Doesn't look like that one's coming up. Nope, not working. All right, Apple. So Apple, of course, it's finally doing what I said it's going to do. Just like a couple days later, I said it was going to be 240 by the end of August. They decided, nah, we're going to make Steve wrong. We'll do it the first week of September. So there you go. Apple looks like it's going to 240 first week of September. I said it was going to go by the end of August. Decided they want to make me wrong and go first week of September. It is what $2 and $1.50 away from 240. Okay, and this is our target area, 244 to 250. Yep, 244 to 250. That's where Apple's going. All right. We're at the lower end of that thing. We were buying it up. It finally decided to break out of this bull flag that we've been in today. So we're going to 240 and 250. So let me map that out for you. All right. So grab the other one. Okay. All right. So 240, 250. Okay. With the mid price of 244. All right. As long as this doesn't gap down tomorrow, it's going to 240, 244, and 250. Okay. All right. Let's see. Intel. What can I tell you? It's consolidating. Has a nice bull flag. It's consolidating. Okay. Can I tell you on the weekly? It has a bull flag. Consolidating. Does it still look good? It still looks good. It's still above all of its moving averages. Still above support 2338. It's just going sideways. Sideways. It looks good still. Looks good still. GLD already did. Sound. I don't like this at all. Don't like this one either. That's a dark cloud cover. Okay. Below 1274, don't like it at all. If it holds 1274, and it's going to consolidate here. This is looking like an inverted cup and handle so far. If it rejects 50 and comes back down, this is going to fire back down. So far, not looking the best, I would say. So you can't break this. Can't break this. If you break that inverted cup and handle fires down. All right. Holds this, you have a chance above 14. Other than that, not looking the best. Okay. Right. Yeah, you could hear. Yes, yes, yes. I'm back. Okay. All right. We're going on 2 hours here. Okay. Mm, all right. Okay, let me see here. Okay, let me see. Okay. All right. Hey, where am I? AVNT. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, let's see here. Mm-mm. Okay. Da, da, da. All right. Avian Corp. This one here looks like a nice pattern on the weekly. Uh, kind of an ascending triangle. Nice little ascending triangle with a little squeeze. RSI about 50. Okay, looks good. I don't know what this company does, but it does look good. It looks like this is a value area right here. So this is a value area right there. Looks like it's holding that value area pretty well. Nice little bull flag forming. I don't know if it's time to get in yet, but it looks like it will be soon the time to get in. Maybe around this zone right here. Um, yeah. So I think you need a couple weeks, and then you could get in long here, and then depending if that consolidates even more, because on the weekly, it looks like it needs more room. It needs a lot more room on the weekly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6 weeks of consolidation. Maybe go sooner, but it looks good overall. It just needs time. I don't think it's there yet. So time needs time, unless you just want to buy some long term options on it. But otherwise, it looks great, but it needs time. Okay, NTLA. All right, NTLA. Therapeutics. Is this a pharmaceutical or a Okay, well, the weekly looks good, but I don't like stocks like these. I do not like stocks like these at all. They take too much time. They have a lot of fake false breakouts. They consolidate forever. They don't make good enough moves, and they're really news driven. So it's pretty much a lot of dead money to me. Okay, so this one has been. So you think it's the bottom? Okay, 1150. You think is the bottom? I mean, 590. You think is the bottom? And if it is the bottom, never heard of this stock, and it's probably going to go sideways for a very long time until it picks enough buyers up who have heard of it, and does something. The RSI barely starting to move up. So I don't think this one is going to move for a while. Okay, it hit that bottom, then came up, and now it's in consolidate. It could make one more move, but I got my money on it go sideways between these areas and most likely this area here. Yeah, between 9.8 and 12.50. I think. Yeah, I think that's your range. I think that's your range. If you get above 12.50, maybe you have a chance to range here. But I think this is your range. Yeah. Not a favorite of mine. Not a favorite of mine. Okay. Okay. All right. GIS, General Mills. All right. I think I talked about this one before. It looks like it has a falling wedge on it, but price level was at 49. You're gonna have to wait for earnings. It's not gonna do anything till earnings. Yeah, and that's a risky one because let's see, it does have a falling wedge on it, sort of. It's not the strongest wedge. It does have on it with squeeze for me, but it almost lost it. Almost lost it here, gained it back here. So it's an iffy one here. It's an iffy. Can it break out before earnings? Because earnings are what? In the middle of the month. What are you doing? What the fuck is this? Okay, I thought it said 917. So I'll just do this here. Oh shit. All right. Okay. Look at the earnings at. September 17th, like I thought. Okay, look at the earnings looking like the stock falling wedge. So maybe 17 could pick them up. Look, it has a bullish divergence. You know, if you want to get long this. Oh, wow. Okay, these ones don't even have that long. Huh? Or they only have longs. Okay. Not a lot of interest on this one. Not a lot of cheap, but what's it, September 19th? Yeah, I mean, 49. It's at 49. What was it? It used to be at 90. Okay, the bottom is 36. So you have a $13 risk. $13 risk. I mean, it's all to you if you love the stock or not. You know, I don't really look at the stock. 30 is a RSI. I mean, it could be a good play. I don't really know too much about that industry. The pattern is good. The RSI is good. Squeeze is good, but you know the earnings is still kind of a ways away. So this is it's gonna drop below 49, or if it just consolidates there, then it's just too up in the air for me. Yeah, it looked good before, but now it's I don't know. I would if it's cheap enough, I would play it. If it's not, I would not waste my time with it. All right, spending too much time on that one. Oh my god! All right, look at. I just told you guys about earnings, and you give me another one with earnings. Earnings tomorrow, after market. You know, I don't know what to tell you. Earnings are 50-50. I don't care what stock it is. It could be the best stock in the world. It could have good earnings. It could have the best earnings in the world. And still falls. It all depends on what they think is going to happen. So if you're looking at this earnings, you can look at all the other chips earnings. Broadcom, look, Broadcom. I think Broadcom benefits off of Apple. Okay. Broadcom benefits after Apple because Broadcom sells them their chips or whatnot. I don't know if that's still going on, but if Apple does good, Broadcom does good. Broadcom's been doing good without Apple. Okay. Broadcom did have a head and shoulders pattern on it here, and it was going to break down here, and it didn't. So that's one thing. But who knows? I told you we are not out of the woods yet. So Broadcom might be it. My Broadcom earnings might drop the whole market. Yeah, I don't know. Does it still have a bearish divergence on it? Yes. Still has a bearish divergence on it. Okay. Is it still looking toppy? Yes. Still looking toppy. The earnings are coming out. It's just too much risk for me. I wouldn't play it. Way too much risk for me. You want to play it, but it's just too much risk, too much uncertainty. It has that head and shoulders pattern. It has a bearish divergence, has a squeeze pointing down. All tech has been kind of weak. Okay, we had some positive things about tech still. It's cool. Some things are still up in the air. That's why the markets aren't essentially going at it yet. Broadcom might be the make or break. It might make it go higher, might make it drop. Not willing to play that one. So that's my opinion on Broadcom. So I can give you more, but that's just what it is. Earnings are going to be 50-50, whether they do good or not, whether the pattern's there or not. It's all very risky unless you know some kind of information or you've been studying it, some kind of stock, or every single one of them has been doing well, and it's just or we've been in a shit market the whole time, and then finally there's good earnings, and then people are getting good earnings. Then that is good. Or we're just in a straight up bull market, and we're in the middle of it. Then great, the earnings are going to do good. But when you're in this gray area, definitely not going to play earnings. Tesla already did. Google already did. GLD already did. Okay. Okay. Oh. All right. Okay. Okay, this one looks like a slow dying stock. Very slow dying. Okay, it looks like it was doing great. Now it's slow dying. All right. So gap is right here at 255. All right. And bad news is okay. Good news is that it has a nice buying candle on it that's holding the 100 SMA. Bad thing is it hit the RSI 50 and rejected it second time. And it got a squeeze pointing down. Okay. So earnings. Why are my earnings not working? How come I can't? All right. Well, earnings happened and it dropped and then came up, but you need to see more. It's in a downtrend. That's all you see. It's in a downtrend. Our side's in a downtrend. Everything's in a downtrend. Um, I wouldn't touch the stock until it's above 280, 285, and it's not there yet. This is all resistance here. It's all resistance there at 280. This is consolidation. This doesn't look good to me now. We got some high volume in there, but that's only because the earnings came in. But you need to see more. It's too early. Way too early. Way too early to say anything. Because right now it's doing nothing at all. I had one good buy day. That doesn't mean anything. Tomorrow could have a worse sell day. Okay. Salesforce already did. Okay. RH. All right. Let's see. RH. Just clear this out here. Get back over here. RH is a little slow fizzy bubbler right there. Okay. This is what it is. This is how RH has been acting, and this is what it's been doing. So it's a slow grind up channel, but it is a slow grind up. So we have nice big pops and then drop down. Big pops and then drop down. Okay. Big pops and then drop down. Big pops and then drop down. You see the pattern? Big drops and pop down. Big pops and drop down. Big pops and drop down. Big pops and drop down. Big pops, drop down. Big pops, drop down. Okay. So it might be coming in for a big drop soon, but I don't see it yet. But it might be. But this is the way you have to play it. So, does it look like it could have a big pop soon? Sure, can. But with earnings coming up, can't even see it. But no. But that's how it is. So if you get a big pop or two big pops, get out, get some puts. Okay, that's how it's going to work. Big pops, drop down. Okay. Apple already did. AVGO already did. Okay. Amazon. Amazon. Okay. Amazon. Okay. Pop it down. Okay. It's still in this consolidation zone that we mentioned like 2 weeks ago. Still in there. And like I was saying, like the market's in this gray area. It doesn't know if it wants to pop or drop. It's waiting on something. Amazon is the same thing. It's a big tech. It's waiting on something. It's up here where this area was. Okay, it might be a cup and handle, big giant one, right? But it's still waiting. Still waiting on it. So, easily could be a giant cup and handle, but you're still waiting. So once it breaks out 235, cool. Then it's a giant cup and handle. You're going 252, 270. If not, you're pulling back to 201. So that's what it is right now. It's just straight consolidation. Straight consolidation until the market gives us more information. Okay, AMD. AMD. All right, AMD was in this bullish channel. Okay, we had this bull flag. It fired here and then had a bearish divergence, failed, dropped down, held on to the bullish channel for a little, lost it. Now we're holding on to the 50 SMA. Now we're right at that daily breakout point, and we're holding it with the indecision candle. You know, this is, I'm going to say the same thing I said about in the video. You're in a teeter-totter position right now. You're either going to hold that 161 and go back up to that 170, 180, or you're going to drop that 161 and you're going to go back down to 147 and maybe even 140. And if you do that, you know, that's a good buy area. 140 would be buy it up all day, you know. But you're in a teeter-totter position, just like NVIDIA is in. So, again, we need more information. Don't get me wrong. AMD can go back up to 167, maybe even 169 this week. But if it rejects there, it's coming back down. Okay. All right. SMCI. Okay. Now, SMCI. Okay, let me just clear all this out. Let me get this back. All right. SMCI. It's in this channel. We hit that upper end of the channel at 60, and then we dropped it all the way back down here. Okay, now we are at the 200 SMA, but now we have a dark cloud cover right on there. So it's not really, does nothing. We're still holding that 200 SMA here, but it's weak. Okay, we need to see it move away from there. Now, if it does lose that, we hit the lower end of the channel, maybe I'd be a buyer at the lower end of this channel. You know, maybe I may be a buyer here, but I'd rather be a buyer at the lower end of the channel. Although for a strong stock, I'd rather hold the 200 SMA. But looking at the markets and everything, I'm not sure. So I want to see, okay, if it holds that 200 SMA, cool, great. If it doesn't, we want to see that lower end of the channel that it's been holding, hold, right? At 38. You know, you either buy it at 40 or buy it at 38. Okay. It's not that big of a difference, but the only thing is SMCI's RSI is just falling. So I would wait for the channel. And then I would see, okay, is the channel holding? Is it forming a little positive divergence in the RSI? Is it trying to get healthy again? Because you know, we were just at 62 and now we're at 40. And if we go to 38, you know, that's a big jump, right? Our high was 66. So it's almost half. If we go to 38, it's almost half the stock. And I'd be a buyer at half the stock. You know, it already dropped to like half the stock right here and then jump back up to 62. So now we're back here. I would probably be a long-term buyer here, but I would rather be a buyer at 38. It's not that big of a difference, $2, but I want to see if it's weak enough, and it looks weak enough to drop that 200 SMA and then come to that 38, 37 area and hold and then turn around and go up. Otherwise, it's looking weak. You know, if this had a bullish divergence on it at the 200 SMA, I'd buy it up all day, but it doesn't. It doesn't. It has a bullish divergence on the 4-hour. No, not really. It's not a divergence. It's a slight divergence, but not really. Again, a slight divergence, but not really. But it's a $2 difference. You could take the risk and buy longs here, or you could wait for it. Okay. Okay. All right. Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin's still just chilling right here. Okay, we said it was going to come down to the 10,000 or 108,840. Okay, it did. Okay, and here's there. It's consolidating. So Bitcoin is below the RSI 50. So again, this is the teeter totter area. The 108,000. I said below that, we're in trouble. Okay, if we hold that, we're good. So again, market's in a gray area. Okay. We had that cup and handle and we fired, but then we got weak and it dropped back down. Okay. We're holding where it broke out of. We don't hold this no more. Boom. We drop back down in here. That's no good. We're going to go back down here to 93. 100,000 or 90. Was it 90? Oh, I guess 100,000. I thought I saw 90. Okay. 100,000. 800. 100,800. So it's going to drop another 8,000 points. So right there. And then this is going to be a false breakout on the monthly. Yeah. So here's the monthly breakout. This is the breakout. Here's the false breakout. And this is trying to hold. So if we fall back in there, it's going to be a false breakout. But if we hold this is going to be a bull flag setup. And then we can go higher. Okay. There we go. Again, it says market's in a gray area. We hold this area, good. We're going to go higher. We don't hold this area, bad. We got false breakouts everywhere. And we're going to drop down. All right, guys. 2 hours and 20 minutes. All right. We got it done. All right. Sorry for the delay at first. But yeah, I only got 4 of you, a couple of you with me after all that. But yeah, thanks for stopping by and hanging out. I hope we answered all the questions. Appreciate all of you. And I'll see you guys next week. All right. Good night, guys.